All right, let's jump right in. Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're dissecting the anatomy of a literal industry-defining blockbuster, Marvel's Avengers: Infinity War. Now, we aren't just doing a standard movie review here. We are breaking down the hard data, the unprecedented hype, and the massive cultural footprint it left behind. So let's take a look at how a true pop culture juggernaut actually comes together.
Okay, let's dive into this staggering number. $2 billion. That is the absolutely mind-blowing scale of this movie's success. According to Disney and Marvel Studios, Infinity War crossed the $2 billion mark globally in just 48 days. I mean, to put that into perspective, most highly successful films don't make even a fraction of that during their entire theatrical runs. This was a financial phenomenon that fundamentally shifted exactly what Hollywood expected from a major tentpole movie. Act 1, the hype, and that unforgettable Los Angeles world premiere.
And this brilliantly illustrates the vibe of that night. On April 23, 2018, Hollywood effectively shut down for a massive, star-studded red carpet event. Marvel Entertainment tweeted out a simple, powerful phrase: "Destiny arrives." They weren't just selling a movie ticket anymore. They were selling an absolute inevitability. With the core cast actively engaging a global fan base that had literally been waiting 10 years for this exact moment, it wasn't just a premiere, it was a cultural coronation. Now, the logistical scale of making all that happen was driven by an estimated production budget of somewhere between $325 and $400 million. And that massive investment went directly into assembling the ultimate ensemble cast. We're talking Robert Downey Jr., Chris Hemsworth, Chadwick Boseman, Scarlett Johansson, the list goes on. Honestly, just managing the shooting schedules for this lineup was an unprecedented feat, let alone bringing them all together for a singular, cohesive narrative.
Act 2, the economics and smashing box office records. So, the momentum from that insane premiere translated into a historic sprint. Infinity War became the fastest film in cinematic history to hit $1 billion worldwide, doing it in just 11 days. 11 days. It actually edged out the previous record holder, Star Wars: The Force Awakens, by a full 24 hours. This was a global mad dash, largely fueled by audiences who were absolutely terrified of running into opening week spoilers, right? Domestically, the debut was just as historic, $257.7 million in its opening weekend, once again topping The Force Awakens by nearly $10 million. Think about the sheer logistics required for that kind of cash. The number of sold-out theaters, the around-the-clock screenings needed to generate over $250 million in just 3 days, in North America alone. It is a literal masterclass in audience mobilization. To put that global performance into perspective, you really have to consider the $2 billion club at the time. It was exceptionally exclusive company. Joining the ranks of Avatar and Titanic, Infinity War became the very first superhero film to cross that specific threshold. It proved, once and for all, that comic book adaptations could perform on the exact same financial tier as the biggest historical epics in film history.
Let's move to and see how this builds into Act 3, the cultural impact and award season domination.
You know, a movie can make billions of dollars and still kind of fade from the public consciousness, but Infinity War commanded validation well into award season, earning 78 total nominations and securing 22 award wins across various organizations. It totally bridged the gap between pure popcorn entertainment and highly respected technical execution.
Running through the specific accolades, we see this really fascinating split between popular votes and industry peers. On one hand, it won the People's Choice Award for Movie of 2018 and the Teen Choice Award for Choice Action Movie, proving its absolute dominance with general audiences. But then, it also swept up multiple Visual Effects Society awards, including Outstanding Visual Effects in a Photoreal Feature. So the most critical, highly trained eyes in Hollywood were just as impressed as the fans. And even amidst that massive ensemble, individual character arcs still resonated deeply. Scarlett Johansson taking home the People's Choice Award for Female Movie Star is a huge testament to a script and direction that somehow managed to keep individual heroes totally grounded, even when they were sharing the screen with dozens of other massive characters. Now, what's really interesting about this is the critical acclaim showered upon the film's main villain. Josh Brolin's motion capture performance as Thanos truly anchored the entire enterprise, earning him a Saturn Award plus Best Motion Capture nods from critical associations across the country, like in Austin and Washington, D.C. The entire film relied on the emotional weight of a fully digital antagonist, and Brolin completely delivered.
And beyond that, the film commanded high-level recognition from the most prestigious traditional organizations in entertainment. We are talking an Academy Award nomination for Best Visual Effects, a BAFTA nomination for Best Special Visual Effects, an Annie Award nomination, and even a Grammy Award nomination for Alan Silvestri's incredible instrumental composition. I mean, this just proves the film was firing on all cylinders, visually, sonically, and emotionally.
So, looking at the sheer, unprecedented scale of this whole thing, the $400 million budget, that crazy 11-day sprint to $1 billion, the perfect storm of critical and commercial success, we really have to ask, did Avengers: Infinity War set a new, impossible standard for Hollywood blockbusters? It is a logistical miracle that permanently changed the blueprint for the modern franchise. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep questioning what it takes to make true cinematic history.